What's up, dudes? It's Nacho Trainer here with some great tips and tricks on how to maximize your chances at making the 2K League and to always stay a step ahead of the game. This video won't talk specifically about builds or archetypes, but some good information to have to make sure you don't fall into some common pitfalls players had last year. Without further ado, let's begin. So as of recording this video, the Combine is 2 weeks away. Some of you had your 100 wins already, while some of you are still in the process of getting them. No worries, but either way I'll suggest to all of you to go back to Rec Center a few days before the official Combine and play a few games alone each day and queue up as a fill-in. This is the best simulation of the Combine possible, and it starts to get you familiar with the whole process. Far too much last year were players so used to playing with a set 5 or group that they didn't know how to adjust their game to what is around them. You aren't going to get a clean lane every time. You aren't going to be able to do the things you're used to with a set 5. The chemistry and just the overall trusting nature and knowing where players will be won't be there. So players lose 10 to 20 games trying to adjust to a completely different playstyle they've practiced all year with the same set 5. A few days before the actual start of the Combine, go in alone. It's simple as that, and play a few games and get used to what it is to play 2K without friends or chemistry. It's only going to help you, and you may feel like it's not, high quality basketball, but unfortunately that is the Combine and what we play under. When the Combine officially starts on December 1st, there are two options I highly suggest. I will stress this as long as possible. If there is only one thing you get from this video, please take this next sentence. Get used to your numbered jumper ahead of time. You will not be able to mix jumpers or use players' jumpers. Find a numbered one and use it for the rest of the time you're on 2K this year. You won't be able to mix Rudy Gay with base 11. You won't be able to use players' jumpers. So either get used to them now or go to a position you don't care about for the first day of the Combine and practice it. So if you plan on using base 11, base 8, base 49, whatever it is, start it now. Pure base numbered jumpers. But so, for example, if you plan on playing point guard and shooting guard, play your first games at small forward to get used to how the Combine plays, how people are approaching it, and to also get some practice in on your jumper and understanding what you can and can't hit with certain archetypes. A lot of people jump right in at their set positions in the first few games. They brick their shots. They're getting a feel for how the Combine plays, and they're kind of feeling it out, and it hurts them statistically. You can also take the first Combine window day off to watch others play to find builds that are superior than others. Use the community to your advantage. It's better to play 40 games and average 25 and 15 than it is to play 100 and average 20 and 8. Those first few games either play off your primary positions or watch others to see what's working and what is not. 5 games of you finding your build and learning jumpers means you wasted 5 of your 40 games, which can be the difference between making the pool and not. More games don't mean a better chance. If you can maintain great stats over 80 games, it will obviously look better than doing it over 40. The caveat to this is it is very easy to have a drop in stats and it is very hard to increase them. If you feel your stats are elite at your position, stop and play another one. If you're averaging 30 points per game, it takes a 70-point game to raise it from 30 points per game to 31 points per game. But all it takes is a 10-point per game to drop it significantly. Sometimes less is more. Make sure to take healthy breaks in between windows. As a personal experience, I got my 40 games in at shooting guard. Saw my stats were elite and stopped playing. I paced myself. You will always want to be at your best, so you playing 6 hours straight isn't going to keep you at your best. You will tire out and start making mistakes. Unless you plan on playing 4 to 5 positions, make sure you spread your games out. Stay focused, and if you feel yourself making stupid decisions or you have a bad string of games, stop and come back on a different day. This process is over 22 days. 22 days. If you play 4 games a day, that is 2 positions you have qualified for. This process isn't nearly as grueling as a qualifier. More does not mean better. So make sure you play smart and play loose. This is the final thing I'm going to talk about, which is what to do to get yourself noticed. First, make sure you stream. That should be priority number 1. You want the managers to see your game and to see what you can do. Even if only one manager ever stops in when you play 200 games, you have your foot in the door. That manager will see your name on the big list of 200 people and say, like, oh, I watched this guy. Let me go back and look at his footage or watch him. You don't need 7. You don't need 21 teams to fall in love with you. You only need one. One team's only going to draft you. Not all the teams are drafting you. If one team likes you, that's all that matters. Be in game chat talking to your team. Be positive and provide help in how to win games. Don't be toxic, blaming teammates or demanding the ball. That is a big no-no. If you don't pass, you are pretty much auto-removed from the process, even if you average 50 points per game. You need to prove to the teams why you are a team player, but at the same time, you need to be selfish. Your teammates are there to make yourself look better. Do whatever you can to play team basketball, but you need to look after yourself first and foremost. I know it's completely against what the team game of basketball is, but it's the cold hard reality. If you are the best team player and you win 35 games and lose 5, but you average 13, 5, 5, and 5 at small forward, you won't be in the pool. This doesn't mean only pass if there is an assist opportunity. This means do what you can to make the team succeed, and if you can't, help someone else do that for you. That is all I have for now. If I have more, I will likely post it on my Twitter unless I get enough for a follow-up video. Make sure to keep track of my next video series over the next few days. I want to be breaking down builds and positions and which are best and which one I would avoid in the upcoming combine. Stay tuned.